Yo, what's up, guys? It's Xenon ZT back at it again with What If Deku Turned Evil Part 2. So, before that, I want to say thank y'all for 68 subscribers. Yeah, boys. Let's keep going. Let's hit 70 tomorrow. And thank y'all for the likes. And don't forget to subscribe. I'm repeating myself. Like and comment. And I hope you enjoyed this What If, because up until now it's one of my best, if not the best. So yeah, let's jump back into it. So, in the last time, Deku was granted by all for one two quirks. One called acceleration and the other called blackout. I'ma explain a little bit of what acceleration is. Acceleration is a speed and an enhancement quirk. It just works like the flash methods, just like the flash quirk. It boosts the ability of someone to speed up so fast. He just becomes a blur. And one up for that quirk is that it has some kind of healing factor. Let's say he breaks an arm. Instead of it taking a month, it will take 2 hours. So yeah. And the harder he concentrates on healing himself, the faster it happens. Blackout is an EMP. We all know what an EMP can do to machines. Plus, with evolution and stuff, it will become something more than just an EMP. It's a darkness based quirk. So, yeah, we jump into Kurogiri taking Deku into the woods where Gigantomachia resides. And Gigantomachia is sitting there, and Deku and Kurogiri approached him, but there is no movement in Gigantomachia. And Deku asked Kurogiri, Sir Kurogiri, who is this? His name, Kurogiri responded. His name is Gigantomachia. He is, as you call it, the master's pet, the strongest pet, if you know what I mean. And one day he will be yours and Shigaraki Shonen. So Deku looked at him like, okay, sure. And then Kurogiri looked at him. We need to start training right now. You need to work on your first quirk. And Deku said, I don't know how to activate it. And Kurogiri said, it's a speed based quirk, just like the master explained. So try using it. And Deku started running, but he started picking up pace because he started running. That's what acceleration does. Acceleration. He started running and running, and then he got fast. And sometimes, and in this first use, he crashed into a tree, breaking his hand. And Deku and Kurogiri came to him. You need to be more careful next time. You have 5 months to get into UA, so you need to get accustomed to your quirk. People get used to it from the tender age of 4, but you do not have that. You have 5 months to master it and to make it yours. So Deku, after 2 hours, found out that his hand was back to normal, and the training continues. It was rigorous and hard. That Deku came back sweaty, tired, and straight up almost at the verge of death because he was pushing the limits of his body fat more and more. And one downside for acceleration is that you need to eat so much calories so you can keep up with the quirk. So yeah, Deku went home and he got his mother to prepare him a special dinner and special food so he can keep getting more calories. And the training continued. Kurogiri, after 2 months of training Deku almost mastered acceleration that he can use it to become a blur faster than even the engine hero's ingenium. And Deku started pushing it farther and farther and its abilities. Then 2 months before the entrance exam, Kurogiri took Deku on a mission with him. This mission is to infiltrate a hero base, and Kurogiri said, "It's your time to use your second quirk." And Deku said, "Black out," and he stomped his leg, and everything gone down. Everything, the networks in that area. It was the vicinity of one, how do we say it? Around 500 meters. And in that vicinity, everything lost power. There's no computers, no phones, nothing works. And Kurogiri teleported Deku into. Sorry about that. Teleported Deku into the agency in date. And Deku pulled out a knife and he used acceleration. Everything seemed to stop at its place. And Deku went faster and slashing the throats of everybody there. It was a massacre. The walls were painted red, and the main target was a grade A, one of the 12 top 50 heroes, and Deku murdered him without any regrets. He used his wits and power to take him down. So Deku is the murderer. And after that, Deku wiped the blood from his face and went to Shigaraki and to Kurogiri, and Kurogiri, "Master will be pleased with you," and took Deku into Master All For One, and All For One praised Deku, which made Deku ecstatic as none before, because he's tasting what self-esteem is, what he can be, what he can do, what power can do to a person. And after that, Deku went and had interactions with Shigaraki, and they had a little sparring sessions here and there. And then Kurogiri said, "There's 1 month left before the entrance exam. You need to train alone." And Deku took that time to do physical training, pushing his limits of his body farther and farther, and using his speed and agility to its maximum. Deku at this point can run up a building, and everybody will know the terror of Izuku. We jump, and yeah, one major thing: Deku dyes his hair black, leaving the Midoriya Izuku behind. This is the new and improved Deku. Naga Deku. Just fucking around. Nigga Deku. No. Black Deku. Good. So yeah. And everything was going according to the normal anime. Deku went into the entrance of UA and he spat on the ground and started walking, but this time he did not trip over himself. And Bakugo started looking at Deku like, "That's a familiar face." Deku pulled the hoodie over his head and kept on walking so nobody can recognize him, and went and listened to presentation and what to do and what not to do. Deku had an idea on his mind. I need to keep Blackout a secret. It will be a great powerful infiltration, especially when the time comes. So another I need to use acceleration to its max. And it went as normal, President Mike explaining, and Deku wearing a normal pants, sports shoe, and a hoodie, and putting the hood over his head so nobody can see him. He was looked at as the creepy participant of the test. And Ida looked at Deku, then President Mike said, "Go!" Everybody started running. And then President Mike was looking at this strange kid. What the hell is he doing? Deku, and then said, "I said go!" And heroes do not have time. And then Deku looked at President Mike. Heroes, that's full of shit. And he bolted out of there, breaking the sound barrier with maximum speed, passing everyone. Even Ida was left in the dust, and Deku started breaking one after another, not giving anyone a chance to take one. He was gathering information, breaking down robots, destroying everything. Before half the exam was over, Deku was at the mark of 65 points. Nothing, Deku in his eyes, everything seemed like stopped. He was the only one running and breaking. And don't forget, Deku is efficient with knives, so he is using a blade to break them down faster and faster, cutting circuitry, cutting wires from the robots, because his physical strength is good, but if he punched iron at that speed, his arm would break. But if he punched someone at his top speed, he will break down the body of that person. It will become sludge, basically. So yeah, Deku went from 1-1, 1-1, 1-1, and before the exam ended, Uraka fell and started crying out for help. And President Mike said, "There is 2 minutes left." And Deku stood there looking at everyone running away. None of these so-called heroes in training tried to do anything to save this girl. Huh. That shows how the hero society is rotten to its core. Deku blitzed, started running on the robot, cutting the circuitry from it, disassembling it piece by piece, and then he started running down while the robot is breaking down in slow motion. He picked up the rubber from Uraka and got her and took her from that place. He put her down, put on the hoodie on his head. She said, "Thank you." Deku looked at her and she saw the darkness in his eyes, and she was frightened because Deku was displaying so much bloodthirst that even would put Stain in shame, because to him the hero society is vile. And then Deku put the hoodie on his head and started walking out of the entrance exam. A week passed. Deku in his room was sitting down. Then his mother burst in joy. "Deku, Izuku, my boy, here's the letter of acceptance." And she gave it to him and said, "Thank you, Mom, but I need to be alone for this one." And Deku opened it, and then All Might popped out of nowhere. Said, I am here. And Deku once, the moment he saw the face of almighty rage flared upon him. How dare he welcome me to UA? How dare he be so happy and be so supportive of me when I have a quirk, but not when I didn't, when I was in the dumps, before I tried to take my own life away. How dare he? And once All Might said that Deku was accepted before he shown what Uraraka said about Deku. Deku picked up the machine and broke it in his hand, and he came out of the room and put on a fake smile and said to his mother, "Mom, I passed." And she congratulated him, bought cake, and celebrated with him. And Deku told her, "I feel tired, Mom. I'm going to sleep." And after that, when he went to his room, Kurigiri was waiting for him and looked at Deku and said, "Come on, we have something special." And took Deku into the bar where all the villains, which were acquaintances of Deku, celebrated him infiltrating UA. It was a party like none other, and Deku felt happy for the first time in a long time. Even villains can show mercy and give you happiness. So then Kurigiri said, "There is one last gift from the master. Come with me." And he took Deku to All for One. And he said, All for One said, "Congratulations, kid. You're impressing me by the day. You managed to master your quirks in 5 months. So here is my gift for you. Come close." Deku said, "Yes, master, anything for you." And he went into All for One. And All for One touched Deku's head and said, "There." And then Deku said, "I don't feel any difference. I don't feel any power." All for One said, "This one is special. It's called Adapt and Survive." If you know the that one X-Men that can survive anything, this is basically it's his powers. It's called Adapt and Survive. It's a passive quirk. You cannot activate it. Once your body feels that it's in danger, it will activate on its own. It can grant you physical strength. It can grant you, let's say, you're falling off a cliff. It can give you wings so you can survive. You can absorb energy if energy is shot at you and use it back. This one is one of my greatest. And here I'm giving it to you. And Deku said, "Thank you, master. I promise I won't disappoint." And this is where I'll leave it for this episode. Thank y'all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed. Drop a like, subscription, and a comment. It's been your boy Xenon ZT. See y'all in the next episode. Peace.